McCarthy Insurance Group, serving the community for over 70 years. For home, farm, motor, life, health and business insurance, log on to mig.ie or free phone 1800 50 11 11. Probably your best call in 2024. Charles McCarthy Insurance is trading as McCarthy Insurance Group, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Ireland's Classic Hits Radio, it's Trina Mara, and the last time Gerry Creighton was on the show, we had a great laugh and we were talking about brilliant memories of Gerry working in Dublin Zoo for decades and his book, which became a bestseller. And today we're talking because there's some really sad news coming out of Dublin Zoo, Gerry, and I'm sure because you looked after the elephants and elephants are really your thing, this is heartbreaking. So a week ago today, the elephant Avani passed away with its virus, and unfortunately another elephant, Zinda, has now passed as well.
It's a devastating blow, Trina, because, obviously I was there with the team for the birth of both these elephants, and they were particularly close, and they were very close friends as little pals within the herd, and it's a huge setback. It's unfortunately a thing called Elephant Herpesvirus, or EEHV, and it's a disease or a virus that happens both in the wild and elephants in human care, and really under every circumstances. And you can do all the preparations for it, but it's particularly aggressive, and it attacks the organs of the body, and you get an eruption of blood vessels. And I mean, I was in the zoo the other night. The zoo asked me to come in and have a chat with the keepers and just say hello and offer support, and it was really kind because they knew what the elephants meant to me, and I did see firsthand like an absolutely remarkable effort, and like they had an on-site lab there. They were international support from zoos all over the world. The keepers, the carers, the vet team, from the management, the support and the drive to get these elephants well again was phenomenal. There was no resources left unturned, but it is just devastating, and it's devastating on many fronts, obviously from the people involved, but what it does for the elephant herd and what it does for the conservation program for this endangered species can't be underestimated. Yeah. On a personal level, I'm gutted. I was there the morning these elephants were born. I seen them born. I see them take their first steps. I see them being integrated into the herd, and it was a joyous moment. It was a moment of celebration, and now to come out at the other end and have a result where something you've no control over is devastating for everybody involved.
Absolutely devastating. So Avani, the elephant, passed away a week ago, and then Zinda seemed to have contracted that virus as well and has passed away as well. So the effects of their passing on the herd, because they're very much an animal that they go everywhere together. They stick together.
Absolutely.
And they say an elephant never forgets. What effect will this have on the herd?
They will need a time to cope, and they need a time to adjust. Elephants, they celebrate life when it comes into the herd, and equally they mourn death. It's a loss. It's a huge loss for the herd, particularly young females. Young females and their mothers is the unbreakable bond in elephant society. They're the elephants that stick together for life. The young boys are different. They're biologically programmed to leave the herd from the time they're born, and they leave at certain stages of their life. But the females is the unbreakable bond. So, this is huge for the elephants. But the elephant care team will watch them closely, and they'll do their best. But there will be a mourning time for the elephants, and It's a particular, hard blow. Obviously, the new bull had come in, and there was such a bright future. There was 5 females on that side of the family, with Bernadina as the matriarch, and now we've lost 2 potential, breeding females that were going to do so much for the elephant care program, for the herd. They were such experienced females. They had seen births. They had been around the perfect family unit that Dublin Zoo had created over the years, where elephants were allowed to be elephants. So yeah, it will be a difficult time. But thankfully, was such a dedicated team there, and from the director, all the resources are being given to help the elephants in any way they can.
Gerry, were these 2 elephant sisters then?
They different mothers, but the same father.
Right, okay.
But it was really interesting with it. When Zinda, she actually tried to mother. And she was so young, there was very little in them in age. But when Avani was born, she needed extra help and support, and we actually had to bottle feed her and give her extra support, because she was feeding. Her own mom had a baby, which was Bernadine, and she gave birth after a little over 3 years, and that's a short gestation between 2 calves. So her older sister Asha started to feed her, but Asha also had a baby. But it was showing the perfect elephant society where elephants will step in and support their mother. This was a daughter supporting her mother who had a baby. But the nutritional content of the milk was different, so we had to give supplementary feeding, to Avani, and it was beautiful. But Zinda, when she was a baby, she used to walk up beside her and she'd lift her front leg to try let her to suckle, copying the older elephants to comfort her, which was beautiful, beautiful moments, and it showed a perfect elephant behaviour that, had been created from, the program that we had developed at Dublin Zoo, allowing elephants to be elephants. It's just a devastating blow, and obviously all my team, my friends and my colleagues and ex-colleagues at the zoo have been in touch, and they've been very kind to me to keep me informed and let me know, and I've offered what support I can. But we're all devastated. We're devastated for the families of elephants there. We're devastated for the team. It's a huge, huge setback, despite the very best efforts of everybody involved. It's just a very uncompromising virus that it just decimates herds of elephants. It's happened in like Chester Zoo, who's one of our our very close associated zoos, has lost 5 calves. It's happened in America recently. Albuquerque Zoo lost 2 calves. They used to think that up to 5 years old elephants are vulnerable, but now elephants of older ages are also suffering from it, both African and Asian, and as I say, all across the world. It's not a problem that Dublin Zoo is the first zoo. It's actually very much a virus that manifests itself at particular times in elephants' lives. Right, okay. And there is some trials, there is some hope for the future, like the Euston Zoo and the Chester Zoo are in the process of trialling vaccines. We can only hope and pray that we have a vaccine, soon. But there is a lot of dedicated people putting in a lot of dedicated work to making a successful vaccine, and we can only pray that happens soon.
So, how many elephants are left in the herd now at Dublin Zoo, Gerry?
There's 3 females now left on Bernardina, Asha, and Samaya on that side of the family. And then the new bull that has come in. So, there's still hope for the future, but the guys will continue to monitor and check the elephants that are there. And hopefully that's the virus has done its turn on this particular occasion. But, you don't know. But they've been very vigilant, as I say. The team that are working there are phenomenal and doing an incredible job.
And will the elephant enclosure be closed off for a time or anything like that?
No, I don't believe so. I'm not quite sure. As I say, it'd be best directed to the zoo, but I don't believe so. The elephants they still have to go on ahead and live a normal, functional life. And there's no threat to the public or visitors. It's very much an elephant virus that doesn't affect any other species. It's not a health issue or anything that anyone should be or could be concerned about, or any other species would be concerned about. It's specifically, specific to elephant health, and the virus only attacks elephants when it does manifest itself. So, hopefully this is the end of it. The other elephants are older. Older elephants tend to have a resistance towards it and an immunity. Even though they shed the virus and can carry the virus, it's not critical. And it doesn't kill them, but they can shed it at certain stages. So, these elephants being younger were a bit more vulnerable. But it's a very, very sad day for such a dedicated team of people, and what we started to achieve many years ago, when we were so successful, recognised throughout the world for our contribution. 9 elephant calves born over a decade. All born were in the herd, all born with beautiful family members around them, mothers, daughters, sisters, the bull elephant. It's a huge setback, and we thoughts are with the team and everybody involved.
Such a beautiful animal. And Gerry, I know you always treat the animals, the elephants in particular, almost like they're your children. You're so dedicated to elephants. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what they do to you, the charisma, the personalities, Zinda was for the board, she used to call it. She was such a character. She'd go off and play on herself and throw shavings over herself. She was in her own world. She was an amazing little elephant. Avani, a warrior from the time she was a baby. She had to come against the odds, and we bottled fed her. We kept her in the herd. She became a beautiful member of that herd. They'd such fabulous personalities, and for them to be lost, and then the potential that they had for the future. They had the potential to give many calves over the next generation. And add to the Dublin Zoo elephant conservation program for Asian elephants. So it's a huge setback. It's a huge loss. It'll take a time for everyone to recover from it. And even my own family, which we knew all the elephants, all the elephant care team at the zoo, the veterinary team that have put in so much, the directors, the management. My thoughts are with them all. And I got a call from the director yesterday, and which I really appreciated, to let me know. And we had a chat, and he was visibly upset, and for him and his team and all the people that are there. But we'd have to pick ourselves up from this, unfortunately, and there's still many animals still to be taken care of.
And finally, Gerry, how many years did you look after the elephants for in Dublin Zoo?
Yeah, well, I was in the zoo for 37 years, and I looked after the elephants for over 30 years. Both Judy and Kirsty in the old, and then from the very start of the new program when we went into protected contact and management. And as I say, now I'm travelling all around the world helping elephants. It's my passion, it's my joy. I'm actually up in Belfast Zoo now. 2 old elephants, Yeto and Dunya, who are in their 40s and 50s, and they originally were in circuses, and they had a terrible life in circuses, and one from a logging camp in Thailand. And now I'm training these elephants to go in and out of their daily crates, and on the 24th of this month I'll take them to the Netherlands to a retirement home for geriatric elephants. So it's a beautiful side. They're loving the training. We're getting on fabulous in the time that we've done it. We're preparing them physically and psychologically for their journey, and to make sure that they have all the comfort and care that 2 old geriatric elephants need. So glad to be able to help. But obviously my heart is in Dublin. I'm thinking of the team there at Dublin, and all my own teammates that are great people.
Jerry, what's the usual lifespan of an elephant?
Yeah, it can go 50, anywhere between 50 and 70 years. There's a variations, but so that's generally that.
Avani and Zinda were Avani was 7, was she?
They weren't. Yeah, they were both. They were in their 8-year-olds. Yeah, and they only a little, but they hadn't even reached their prime. They had a long way to go, which is very, very sad. Very sad. But just such beautiful personalities. It's devastating.
Okay. Yeah, dreadful. Okay, Gerry, you take care of yourself, and
thank you.
We hopefully talk again soon, but not under these circumstances.
Thank you, Trina.
Thanks so much, Gerry. It's Ireland's Classic Hits Radio.